Bloomberg TV India.
On Rising Stars today, we feature uTrade Solutions, an open-source financial trading technology company that helps to improve trading experience across capital markets.
Well, in fact, Kunal Nandwani, CEO of uTrade Solutions, joining in right here in our studios today. Kunal, this has been an interesting time. Ava and me keep talking about the way as to how markets from where we probably started off looking at it and the way innovative products have actually come in. So before I start talking about the algo trading, take us as to what your story's really been. How did you come up with uTrade Solutions?
Yeah. Right. So I started uTrade about 4.5 years ago.
Okay.
Prior to that, I used to work in London with Lehman Brothers and then Nimira for a while. I'd seen capital markets evolve. The use of technology there was way ahead of where even India is right now.
Right.
So I felt that India over time would grow. Use of technology in capital markets would grow. And from India, we wanted to build a company which could not just serve the needs of capital markets players in India, but as well as in more than in the whole world, really. So I moved to India along with 3 co-founders. We started uTrade Solutions, and we make software for financial trading to buy and sell shares on a stock exchange. Okay. Simply put, this works for algo traders, online traders, retail investors, institutional investors, and variety of clients we have. We have about 40 clients in India, like Bombay Stock Exchange, all the leading institutional brokerages. And outside India, we are present in more than 10 countries. So we offer our software in various emerging countries like Uganda, Tajikistan, Chile, Turkey, Russia, and in some developed countries like US, UK, of course. And so it's good that the products we develop are now developed globally. It's a multi-language platform. You can run it in Russian, Latin, Turkish, any language really. And with the use of input of every single trader that comes in, somebody in Chile is asking for a feature, next day a trader in India will have the same. So that functionality and the journey about 4.5 years ago. This year onwards, we are now profitable. We broke even last year. A team of about 55 developers broadly. We're based out of Chandigarh, so we're not in Bombay or Delhi. My hometown is Chandigarh, so we set it up there. And we are serving clients from China to Chile, really, around the clock.
I guess that itself is a clear example as to how technology is probably giving you one of the biggest leverage. Considering where, when you always on the financial hub is always seen as Mumbai, but in out of Chandigarh, you're managing to run one of the most hot brokerage or for the matter, a trading software company.
Absolutely. So give us a sense of the kind of services that one can avail on the app, like why an investor should go in for it.
So it's a B2B business proposition. So we sell only to brokers or stock exchanges who will then offer this to their end traders or retail investor or institutional clients. The reason we've succeeded far are primarily 2-3 things. One is the latency, the time it takes for software to trade. That's in a single digit microsecond. So, within 10 microseconds, a trade is done.
Okay.
So that means in a second, a human can trade once a second pretty much by the time you blink, and system will put in 1,000 trades a second.
True.
So 1,000 trades a second is where we've done better than all the other competition. We've pushed the boundaries for the latency. Sure. That's one. The second reason why it works is we have a very good user experience. So how a trader interacts with the information, how get access to not just the live market data but the analytics, and makes the trading decisions very quick and on a single click and all that.
Kunal, I just want to go back to that point on the HFT and the algos. This is one of the most interesting spaces that we've actually seen in the country, and it's been a global phenomenon over the last couple of years now, and it's finally with the volume picking up, it's become a trend in Indian markets as well. The only worry out here is when you see those fat finger trades, when you see those swing moves, when the of moves that we've seen on the index, on a couple of stocks. I remember there have been various incidents in the last few years where the stocks have fallen in a matter of seconds.
Right.
My point to you here is, what kind of systems have you put in place? How important are those systems? Because there are a lot of people who are getting carried away with the HFT and the algo bit right now.
Right.
How are you trying to put those management systems in place?
Right. So I think in trading or financial markets in general, the first principle of investment is risk. You got to understand the risk. You cannot be buying or selling something thinking you're just going to make profit. You got to understand what you can lose, how you can manage your risk. So high frequency trading and algo trading have made it possible for humans to be replaced by machines. essentially put. But every time a technology comes into any sector, it brings risks as well. It goes wrong. People who lobby for HFT being wrong or because it has we've had issues, right? And we will have, I'm not saying we'll never have them, but there are ways to regulate and mitigate them. In any industry, we cannot ban air travel because an airline crashes. It's bad, it's sad, but the way it works is we regulate how the passenger safety is taken care of, the airlines, the regulators, the aviation plane makers and everyone. Same way, in financial services, we do the same. So regulators and exchanges have come up with great deal of scrutiny that needs to be in place. So there are about 15 checks in India, which is mandatory for every brokerage firm to check before the trade goes to the market. So we've even gone a level ahead and we've said you don't need one risk management system, you need two. A second line of defense has to be there. So recently we've launched it in the Indian markets where people are double checking the risk because it's not about just making money, it's about being risk neutral and taking care of the risk. So we've got great surveillance tools. The technology makes it possible to check so many trades within microseconds, and risk management is one of the third thing I was going to say, which differentiates us from the crowd and the other vendor community, that we really take it seriously. And coming from a brokerage background, I do understand that at Lehman how the risks were taken and things. So on a funny side, so risk is what I think technology also drives, and it's fairly regulated in India and continue to the HFT is safe.
So what kind of clients are you really talking? Because see, I understand the fact that you're a trading software, you're probably catering to both Insti as well as the retail audience. So give us a sense as to where the revenues are really coming from. Is it more from a retail point of view, where you're probably taking some of those short-term calls, or is the institution business out there which is probably taking some of those algo softwares which are really giving you a lot of attraction?
Right. So it's a mix of three things. Essentially, in India, it's part of the algo trading business which institutionals use. So if you look at the institutional business, one thing worth pointing out, 90% of institutional trading is through algorithms.
Right.
Majority of it the order in the market as the markets move up and down. They can do it better than a human, right? And in fact, if anything, if I can just digress a bit, the point is that technology avoids information leakage. If you do it manually, the fat finger errors are more there, and there are various other challenges out there. So technology solves all these problems. Coming back to the uTrade business, so we have equally split into three buckets. One is algo trading, one is retail trading, and then third is international outside of India. So outside of India, we offer our software to 6 stock exchanges who give our trading terminals as default to their clients. We offer to various brokers, we offer risk products, analytics, all that, and it's a modular approach, so they can whatever they want. So it's a diversified sort of revenue model for us.
12 months hence, what's the plan? Are we talking about further expansion to different countries? Is it going to become a much more larger offering? Because you've got already most of the products covered when we talk about, at least from a trading software platform point of view. Are you thinking of going into some probably PMS services? Are you looking for a license in that sense? Just to get a sense for expansion plans.
So it's something still we have to figure out. India itself is in general a small market. There is not a big financial services community as such. Mutual funds is an interesting market. The mutual funds going online is an interesting play. We are debating on that. Otherwise, outside India, we're seeing major growth. And in India, we're waiting for the markets to pick up, and as they do, we'll grow with the market. So, in a year's time, I suspect we would be present in a few other countries. We would be, growing in India, and after it becomes more and more enterprise, we become the irreplaceable, like Bloomberg is. Millions of people try to replace Bloomberg, but you can't. Around decades. So quite a few things going on. We'll see.
All right, Kunal, thank you so much for coming in. Great to hear a little bit more about uTrade, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right, interesting one. You got to keep an eye out for such software because you've got quite a few trading platforms. You got quite a few options now when we talk about technology is being used, when we talk about financial markets. Another interesting product for at least investors and traders to explore.
Absolutely. That's all the time there this afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.